Now, President Biden is set to speak just a few hours from now on the U.S. efforts to avert a Russia-Ukraine showdown after he dispatched Vice President Harris overseas on a high-stakes diplomatic trip to meet with world leaders, all while Moscow is gearing up for a nuclear missile drill tomorrow. Now, some are questioning why the White House tasked the VP with this pivotal job, as they point to her lack of foreign policy experience and her less than stellar work on the crisis at our southern border. All this on top of her tumultuous tenure in office, which includes dismal approval ratings, a host of staff departures, and some head-scratching exchanges with reporters. But today, she's talking tough, warning Russia of severe consequences if it takes aggressive action. Watch.
An attack on one is an attack on all, remains our perspective. I do believe, I think we all know, our greatest strength is our unity. This is a moment that has made that clear, that our unity is evidence and is a measure of our strength.
Kayleigh, your thoughts?
Yeah, putting Vice President Kamala Harris in charge of stopping a war in Ukraine is like putting Hillary Clinton in charge of iPhone security. I mean, it just simply is not going to work. I mean, this person, we talk a lot about the Russia-Ukraine border, but we talk very little, other than here at Fox and in some other outlets, about the U.S. southern border. This was the border czar, Kamala Harris, and what did we get from her valiant activity on the southern border? We got the most encounters in January that we've had in 20 years. We got 1.7 million encounters last year, again, a record high on the southern border. But the border czar, do you guys remember when she said this to Lester Holt?
We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I mean, I don't understand the point that you're making.
So she hasn't been to Europe. Well, now she's in Europe trying to stop World War III. And forgive me if I'm less than hopeful that she has the skill and the acuity to stop the war. I hope she does.
Nothing to forgive. You are not alone. And so the point, Julie, is that, this is against the backdrop of Russia preparing to launch a nuclear drill tomorrow with ballistic missiles. The seriousness of this really can't be overstated. No. And yet the decision-making out of the White House continues to be confusing at best, weak at worst.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Munich Agreement, the 1938 Munich Agreement, which basically failed to appease Hitler's Germany, which did not prevent World War II. And the Biden administration is looking at this as, oh, the timing couldn't be better. However, we're going to just take the risk, and we'll see if whether or not tens of thousands of Ukrainians will be killed, because that is essentially what could happen here. They also say, and of course I'm not buying it, nor should the Biden administration, Russian officials are saying that this was a planned, missile coordination and that they had planned on doing this. Well, the timing, once again, they're 30 miles off the Ukrainian border with 150, possibly 190,000 Russian troops. So the fact that the Biden administration is kind of sitting back and just sort of letting it all happen and unfold, the blood will be on the United States if this actually goes through.
And Dagan, the impact of this is frankly global. What are we looking at economically?
Well, economically, oil prices are high, which is they're north of $91 a barrel. They're off their highs in recent days, but that's a burden on Americans. Number one, because, well, people who actually have to commute and heat their homes and is part of the inflation being at a 40-year high. But it also empowers and enriches Vladimir Putin. And let me just point to over a year ago, and we've talked about it on the sofa, is that Joe Biden actively has tried to destroy our energy independence here and the strength of our energy economy. So what did that do? It made Vladimir Putin more powerful and richer. And it encouraged him, in essence, to go into Ukraine. And I'll point to, in recent history, Putin's aggression is highly correlated to the price of oil. You go back to 2008, when oil was near the all-time high of $147 a barrel. That's when Putin invaded Georgia. 2014, the oil was around $100 a barrel. The annexation of Crimea Oil's over $90 a barrel right now. It was nearing $100. Now what are we looking at? Putin's about to go into Ukraine. And by the way, so Putin's aggression actually keeps oil high and sends it higher. So a war continues to enrich Russia and Vladimir Putin. And also, Putin's done a good job of getting his financial house in order in recent years, really cutting spending, boosting the foreign reserves there, diversifying the trade, not focusing as much on Europe, but also making sure that China was a ready and willing buyer of energy from Russia. Russia's debt to GDP ratio is under 20%. In the United States, it's about 130, including all the debt. So we are weak in every possible way right now.
That was like a really frightening, fatal version of the Silver Linings Playbook scene. Jimmy Failla, what does this say about Biden's leadership? So he's in Ohio pushing a 3-month-old bill while the vice president is in Europe trying to prevent a war. Are they giving us a preview of what they are trying to shove down our throats for 2024?
Man, this is scary stuff. What it really says is that former Defense Secretary Robert Gates was right when he said Joe Biden was wrong about every major foreign policy decision of the past 4 decades. At this point, I'd rather him use a magic 8-ball and shake it up and look at the screen than make his own decisions. The only strategic move here I agree with, though, is sending Kamala. Why? Because if Putin spends 10 minutes around Kamala and her awkward laugh, the only person he's going to want to kill is himself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.